Hey, welcome to class. Today we're going to be talking about tone and pitch, and if you remember last time's lesson, we're going to be building off of posture, our understanding of posture. So just a quick review of that. By posture, we're not slouching, we're not overextending our back, and we're also going to go through our bow hold really quickly. So grab your bows, take your right hand, drape it over, find your bow hold. Okay, go ahead and take a second, then release. Here's our bow hold. Wiggle your arm left and right. Make sure your fingers are nice and loose. And then go ahead and plop that sucker onto your instrument, okay? So go ahead and follow along with the video. Let's talk a little bit about tone. Tone is different than pitch. There's tone and then there's pitch. With tone, you can have many different kinds of tone. You can have really dark and light tone, really bright and thin metallic tone. Notice I went all the way from playing over my fingerboard for the dark and deeper tone to the thin and light metallic tone, which is all the way at the bridge. So just by placing our bow across the different spectrum here between the fingerboard and the bridge, we can get many different kinds of tone. Along with the different kinds of tone, we go from dark to bright. But there's also good and bad tone. So good tone, actually let's start with bad tone. Bad tone is where let's say we're angling with our understanding of how to hold the bow. Let's say we're angling the bow a little bit too much. So instead of having the bow hairs flat on the string, let's say we angle the hairs like that and we only have a couple hairs on the string. It's going to give us a weaker sound. You might even get the bow stick rattling up against the string. It's just not going to be as good as having the hairs flat on the string. So we want our hairs flat on the string most of the time. That'll give us the thickest, richest tone possible. Now, for another example of bad tone versus good tone, let's say I'm playing a little bit too close to the bridge when I really don't need to. There's only really two instances actually where we want to play towards the bridge, and we'll hardly visit any of them anytime soon. But when you're playing really high up here, like for cellos, violins, violas, really any string, whenever you play high up on the fingerboard, you will want to go closer to the bridge to close the gap because you're shortening the string as you put your finger down. So it makes sense to go ahead and play closer to the bridge. But if I try doing that down here, you get a kind of sound. So we really want to avoid that. And then sometimes in music they're like, hey, play really creepy and mysteriously. So you go. So you get kind of like a cool tone out of that. But most of the time, we want to stay away from here. We want to be right around here. This is where most of our good tone is going to be for playing. Okay, so to recap, good tone when we play with flat bow hairs and we stick around this part of the spectrum between the fingerboard and the bridge. So just stick around this area. Don't venture off here, and definitely don't venture off too far up here. If I see rosin up here, I'm going to let you know, don't go ahead and play up here. Stick right here, and don't play too close to the bridge at any point unless I tell you to, okay? So just stick around here. Your tone will be great. Now, how do we apply some of our understanding of posture along with that? Well, if our bow hold is light and we're not gripping, we'll have a flexible wrist. We'll be able to fully extend the bow outward. So go ahead and put your bows on your string, on D string. Put your bows on D string. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to hold the bow out on 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, off. Okay, so I ended all the way at the tip. Whenever we play a long note, we want to give as much bow as possible in the sweet spot, okay? So if our wrist was flexible, we should be able to bend our wrist at the end. If it was not flexible, we would have pulled the bow out this way, okay? So let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, off, okay? So make sure that our wrist is bending, and that will give us great tone. So what we just reviewed was good right hand posture and good overall posture from last time's lesson. And to go ahead and break it down, we started with what is good tone. We know that now. We then went into where do we place our bow on the string, which we know we want to go ahead and place it right here. And how does our overall posture and right hand posture affect our tone? We just talked about that. If we're playing with good posture and good right hand posture, our hand is able to fully extend outwards with a long bow. What the opposite of that will look like is a really tight grip, and poor posture might reflect in this. Notice how my hand comes up. That's not going to be very comfortable, and it's not going to sound the best, okay? So the next part of this is, what is pitch? Okay, what is pitch? Pitch is simply the definition of different notes. So it is the definition of different notes. Now, pitch, without getting too far involved in it, is simply when you are in tune and out of tune. So when you're playing E, E is going to be a pitch. Now, there's good pitch and bad pitch. Here's good pitch. Okay, so that was in tune. Good pitch is being in tune. Here's bad pitch. Very, very slight. So let me do a trick really quickly. And don't worry, we're not going to be doing this, cellos. I just want to show you the difference between pitch. Here's an E up here. Here's an E down here. Here's good pitch and with both notes. Now here's bad pitch in one of the notes. And I'll get even worse. So we correct it by raising the flat note, by getting good pitch again. And now we have good pitch. So to recap, pitch is a definition of a note. Pitch can be good or bad. Good is when you are in tune. Bad is when you are out of tune. Now, how do we know what's in tune and what's out of tune? So here's one of the only opportunities that I really want us to pull our phones out right now in class. I want you to go on your Google Play Store if you're Android, or the App Store if you're Apple, and I don't even know what Windows uses if you have a Windows phone. But if you do have a smartphone, go ahead, go to the App Store, download a tuner. We're going to be looking at how to use tuners. If you don't have one, go ahead and get one at home, because it's going to be great, and we'll review it again in class. But if you have a friend that has a phone that has a tuner on their phone, this will be really, really fun. The tuner is going to tell us if we are out of tune or if we are in tune. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and play a note, and probably an open string, and we're going to I'm going to have you out of tune, and I'm going to quickly go around and tune you to show you the difference between good and bad. We know how to get good tone by using good posture, like we know in the last video. We know how to get good pitch by being able to play in tune. So I want you to keep this video saved if you want to keep coming back to this, as well as students who are a little advanced, because there's always ways we can improve pitch and tone. Okay, so I hope this helped, and y'all have a great class, and I'll see you later.